What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the To Be Alive podcast. We're back with Saints in Pairs, episode 15. It's been like a month and a half, maybe 2 months since we did the last episode, and I am
Bro,
like,
it is so good. It is so good to be back.
beautiful. Yeah, I started bringing on other guests as well, and that's been a whole experience in itself so far, in like a good way, but like also in a very challenging way. So this feels like home. This feels like we know how this is done. You know, I feel comfortable here. I'm talking to my buddy. Like it's low stakes. So it's been. I'm appreciating this right now already.
Bro, I'm freaking hyped. I was telling Akaash I just wrote a list of questions because we haven't done this in so long. I like this whole week things kept popping up like, dude, I gotta talk to him about this. I was like, all right, on the pod. I just had this like list and I was like, I feel like today will be a day where we're doing it where sometimes we get into the meat of it and we go in and we're both soaking in this idea. But I feel like today might have at least a segment of like boom, 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 boom. So
let's do it. Wherever the tide takes us. And we have one question we got from you guys. Thank you, Jared, if you're listening to this, for submitting your question, and we'll answer it. So, per tradition, let's do a 1 minute grounding / meditation, and then we'll jump in. So, listeners, if you can join us, please do. Take a couple of deep inhales, and exhale through your mouth. Maybe try inhaling for 4 seconds, holding it for 4 seconds, and exhaling for 4 seconds. And I'll call us back in a minute. All right, come on back.
Well, I felt like a horse that was like they were asking the horse to just calm down for a second, and I was just like, like it wasn't even racing thoughts; it was just excitement. Like I just feel like I'm like what do you mean? Like the race hasn't started yet. And I'm like,
like maybe a 3/4 of the way in, 45 seconds, whatever, and I just start smiling. And I was like, I'm so happy to be here.
back,
all right,
back.
Let's run it. Let's jump into it. How are you on time? Do you have any time limit?
Bro, let's let it rip.
Let's let it rip until we feel like we're complete.
Amazing. So the biggest thing, if you want me to just start off the bat, bro, let me swing with this shit. Okay, so you asked me this question. You're gonna remember this. You asked me this question about like, I think I tell you, I felt like I was having an unlock about relationships that okay. You and I have been blessed by God, thankfully, that we have an auto processor, is what I call it. Now, no matter, we could be trying to ignore our thoughts for 2 weeks. We could be living our life, and our subconscious is trying to make sense of things. I call it the auto processor. Sorry, I've coined it, our boy. And so we're constantly like, for you, it's, well, how does the world work? For me, like, why is things the way they are? For me, it's been like relationships is such a big one. For like, since I was a young kid, I'm observing people. Why do they do that? Why do they do that? How do I make a relationship work? And so it's always ruminating to figure out what the answer is. And I had a big revelation in the last 2 weeks that I've been like, wow. And it's not just my own idea. And then with that, we got a submission. And if you want to tell them what the submission question was, which I felt was so fitting for this, that I think will line up with it.
Yeah, now's the right time to bring it up?
Yeah.
Okay. So we got a question, and I'm going to read it. It's a little long, but I want to read it all out. What do y'all feel about the concept of the one? I've been thinking about it a lot, and I'm currently in the thinking that there isn't the one, or not in that stereotypical sense, not in a pessimistic way either, but in that it is all about the choice that you make in your circumstances with someone and what you want to build together. I know that is a common theme in this podcast, that no external blueprint will tell you what you need to do, but I've witnessed certain things, quotes, philosophers, framework, etc., resonate with y'all that lead you curiously to a more intimate understanding of what you believe. Anything resonate with you recently on this topic? And then he shared some personal information I'm not going to read out, but that was the main thing, is like this idea of the one, anything that is alive for you around that. And it sounds like the answer to that question is yes.
I wonder, before I like drop this, because what I'm saying is not, it's not definitive, like this is right, this is the way, so that other perspectives are wrong, but this is what just feels alive. And I'm curious if you already have an answer before I even bring this up, of like, what do you think of when you feel the one, so it doesn't get diluted, like to have two perspectives in the pod.
I have a perspective. It won't be changed by what you say.
Okay.
You want me to say it
Do you
first?
want me to go first? Yeah, I want you to say it first.
Okay. My perspective, and all my perspective is based on my personal experience, right? So like, I think one of the most true answers, and also non-answers, is that it depends on who you are, right? So for me, very much so, like, I do believe that there is like a person for me, like, but that's because like, as long as I've, you know how you were saying, as long as you've been alive, like you've always wondered, what do people think? How do I build a relationship with them or whatever? Like, that's been the question the question for me has been like, I should call it a yearning. The yearning has been like, I want to be with a woman who I love and I cherish and I want to build a family with, as long as I can remember. And I've said this a million times on this pod before. Yeah. So because that's just the way I think I was brought into this earth and how I'm wired in a way. For me, of course, the idea of the one is real, in the sense that like, I'll meet someone who will feel like she is this person. It's like a manifestation of it. But it's tricky because like, there's a lot of ways the mind can take that and then start being like, okay, you don't have to approach people, you don't have to do anything until magically she suddenly appears one day and I can sit on my ass until that day happens. And like, that's what I've done in ways, and that's what I've not done in other ways. But what I understand is that the one, in the most purest, truest sense, is true for me. But that doesn't mean I don't date other people. Like, it's like I will iteratively.
You still need to discover her.
I need to discover her. Perfect.
You still need to discover her.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Amazing. And it's amazing that you had that yearning from such a young age, but it evolves in terms of how you relate to it, it sounds like, as well.
Correct. Exactly. How about you?
Hell yeah. I mean, I'm similar. I've always been a romantic. And also, I think this guy's onto it already with his like questioning of like, is there really a one, or is it like there's probably someone that you will work well with and then you happen to be in love with? Like, I've heard that scientifically they say on average people will run into 60 individuals in their lifetime that they could fall in love with, that the potential, the capacity is there. 60. Not bad. You know, maybe like one a year for like the first 60 years. No, I'm just kidding. But and who knows how true that study is. But I think it's more about the timing, and the timing because of this reason. You know, let's say you've passed the 30th woman that you could fall in love with, but you're not seeing clearly, you have dysfunctions going on, she's in this weird place in life, and then, you know, you try, or you meet each other and it's just like, you don't even have that first interaction because you're too avoidant, whatever. Just doesn't, the intimacy doesn't cling. My whole thing that I heard this recently is, it's about if both people not just are able to, but they understand emotional regulation. Think about this. Even in our friendship, if we had not run it, we had like up when we first met, we had that dinner and it was really great, but then we didn't see each other for 3 weeks. And then we saw each other at the gym. We got lucky with the circumstances, timing. And then we had moments again, we would do this, but then I would be off some days, you'd be off some days. We would feel this like level of like, I really feel close to this guy, but I also don't sometimes. And we would have like a push-pull within both of ourselves. And I knew it, and you saw it too. And if we didn't understand how to regulate and know that, was that real? Like, is there something real between us? Or is it just like a momentary thing? Or is it my mind? And the regulation part is being able to acknowledge, like, there's something with me that maybe I just need to regulate, but I think there is something good between us. Maybe we just need to have more data. And then slowly, we both were on different ends. we both were kind of fearful about like, should we get close to each other, whatever. But there was enough circumstances were lining up. Kind of funny, like in a bromance, it's literally real. And it's like we both regulated enough where we could come together, we would have conversations, and then there'd be moments where you're like, dude, let's go to this coffee shop 40 minutes away. We're on our way, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to go there. Or you're like, dude, I feel kind of trapped. Like I don't think your mood just starts to drop, and you're like, hey, I want to turn around. And it's like, what if I took that personally? I was like, this guy's weird. Dysregulation could happen so easily in that dynamic if we didn't know ourselves and know how to regulate and basically put the bigger thing in front of us, which is there's something between us that is super special. It's hard to replicate, and it's beautiful when we are ourselves, when we're not like lost in the sauce. And I think that's the magic. It's this emotional regulation piece where when you meet a woman, it probably happens on like amplitudes because we're sensitive, we don't want to feel rejected. There's these things that can come up. She might say things in a certain way, you're like, and you want to dismiss it. You know, your protector side comes out. Nah, like, nah, I'm not really that into her. I'm not really into her. But you're like, but there was a moment there. What if there's a moment where she could understand you? So that's like a huge part that I think is missing. And a lot of people where I don't even think it allows for the relationship to begin, or even if it does begin, then it doesn't like last. I've noticed, at least for myself, that's a big one. And then the other part, I think I had written this down. Is essentially it's needs and compatibility. That's my theory. Like your heart speaks a certain language, and because we both speak that language, we love being friends. And you're looking for a woman that her heart and her soul has the same language. When you speak to her, she just freaking gets it, bro. She just gets it. She's enthralled by the way you are. And it's like, and therefore, when you ask her, hey, I really need this from you, I really feel like, you know, I don't feel very super validated by you sometimes. Of course, she's going to go out of her way to affirm you because she wants you to feel special. So then the needs can be met because she speaks the language of your heart. So that's my spiel.
So
it's this regulation piece.
So what would be your direct answer to the question of the concept of the one? Do you believe in it? Do you not believe in it?
Thank you. I think you can make it work with various people in your life, some people more than others. But I think these components are essential for it to last into it is the one that works. It has to continue to work. Like every hard thing in life, you know, business, life is like, we have to continue to get up and strive. And it's like in a relationship. If you have, these are in the ingredients, in my opinion, to make it last.
Yeah. So well said. You know, I think there's also like this moment of, and I'm not saying it happens at first sight, because there's, you know, love at first sight. It's like a very popular idea. And I don't know if I necessarily believe in that, to be honest. I don't think the one for me is like literally the moment I see this person in a room, I'm gonna be like, all right, she's like, I don't think that's what it is either. She'll just be like highlighted in a way where I'm like, I'm supposed to go talk to her and then like naturally follow the breadcrumbs, which is my favorite phrase these days. But like that recognition, right? Because like with you, I remember like just from a bromance standpoint, like there was that recognition really quick of like, this is not just a random person that like I'm gonna force a friendship with, which I've done a lot in my life. And no surprise, those are not friends I'm very close to. But there's a recognition of like I've told you this, like you feel like a brother from another mother. Like we're like your soul family. Like I've known you from other lifetimes, probably.
Absolutely.
And like that's beautiful. But like that recognition and knowing that that's true allows me to like believe that like no matter what friction we have in our friendship over time, we're gonna, whether it means I need to pull away and regulate myself, or you need to pull away, regulate yourself, or we co-regulate, like sometimes co-regulate, whatever. It's all good. It's worth it. Like this is not, what's true is that we have a bond. And once I know that that bond is there, then like I don't care what happens, you know, like we'll go through hell and high water, but we're still going to be buddies at the end of the day. And I think something similar happens with the right woman, is like you'll recognize that she is that person just in the weird seed, like in a seed of a way. And then you get to see how that blooms in the course of your relationship.
You just need, it sounds like you just need enough of a little initial window to see that like this person has the language of my heart. They speak my language. And then it's like, exactly. Oh, now I want to speak to you. The messiness can happen in the middle, busy this, busy that. I'm out of the country. But when I come back, it's like, I know there's this thing.
Yeah.
It's that recognition in each other.
Was this a thing that like really clarified for you that you mentioned earlier over the last couple of weeks?
It's the regulation piece that like, and maybe I like knew it to some extent, but I hadn't been able to just name it like that pin clearly because I had seen relationships come and go, and some of them could go because like they just couldn't regulate. They couldn't like they believed the delusion that lived when they were dysregulated. Like one of my ex-girlfriends that I had met at that airport, sometimes she would just believe the delusion when she was like dysregulated. She was having these things were coming up, little traumas or whatever, and it would spill out as like she kind of came off in this way that was weird. It just didn't it would be overly bearing, and I was like, dude, like have some sovereignty. Um, and it was just like she believed that this was how, this is what she needed in this moment, and it like spilled in. And so it got me to be like, bro, there's something wrong with this person. Like I need to put like a little space. And I think it was a wonderful relationship. And I think if she didn't do that, I would have continued to see, because we spoke similar languages. We had the chem, and I was like, and I loved being with her. And so it would have just kept amping up if that didn't dysregulate and then get to the point where it was unbearable, and it just like
Yeah. Wow. Dude, I love that.
I wonder how that sits with you. Does it feel like one of those like, yeah, of course, regulation, like come on.
I mean, logically, yeah, but in real life, it's not that easy. Like you have to have a pretty good level of self-awareness and have done some work already to be able to know that, oh, I'm feeling a certain way and I need space from this person right now. Most of like in my last relationship and in most of my relationships, like I'll be honest, like I was very reactive in the sense that like if I felt an emotion come up, like I would immediately speak from that emotion. Whereas what
even
you're
if it was
saying,
delusional.
yeah.
Whoa. Could you name a delusion that you would use to speak to in the moment?
Bro, put me on blast.
I'm gonna put you on blast right now, bro. See what
put all the spotlight on me.
I said some foo la too, so.
There's one thing, but I'm actually not comfortable sharing it on the pod.
For respect.
But it's Delulu. Like it was literally, it was literally said as like, truly, it was like scraping the bottom of the barrel. Like I don't know what else to say to get this person to take my words seriously. Like it was a desperate attempt for me to feel heard and seen.
But two amazing things. One, I love that you said that. You got to that point in the relationship. You're a healthy human being that I admire and respect in my life, and people like you can get to that point in a relationship, and it could be so, because it just is so dysfunctional that you'll say something, you're like, you look back months later like, what the hell? Because it can get that dysregulated.
Yeah, I'll share one thing. This is real vulnerable. One thing I think illustrates this really perfectly. There was a moment in a recent relationship where like we were struggling. We had a really it was a relative low point, and we had gone out at some point. We just went to like a rooftop bar or something, and for some reason, like it was alcohol talking as well. But I remember, and dude, even saying this, even this like this memory, there's a lot of like regret and sadness in it, but it's okay. I was like, I want to marry you, and I told her that in like a semi-serious way. Like it wasn't like we were like literally having that conversation, but it was still like dropped in a way where like, dude, any woman, that's like what they want to hear. Like that's like, oh, this guy's committed to me, and up until that point, we had not ever broached that topic, and up until that point, that relationship was not great. But in hindsight, as we're talking, I said that again because I wanted to feel seen and heard by her.
Yeah.
I was like, how else can I feel close to you? Like everything else I do doesn't feel like it's enough. It doesn't feel like it doesn't seem to be working because all we do is fight. So let me just throw the one thing in that I feel like will bring us together. And obviously it led to more problems, but like in the moment,
it's probably great in the moment. It was like, oh my God, really? It's like, now we have intimacy.
And it's just like, it's not real. That's not real intimacy.
But it's the things you do to try to feel safe, bro. It's such a big component. It's so real. Thank you for sharing that, bro.
And
so you could have been married.
I want to forgive myself for doing that and for saying that. And I want to apologize to her if she's ever watching this.
you're a human and you're allowed to make those mistakes. And it honestly, it's just so human. I don't even like the word mistake because it insinuates like this guilt. I'm like, bro, human. It happened.
Yeah,
And it
I
was the
appreciate it.
dysfunction that arose from what it was. It was two people trying to dance, bro. Relationships are hard. Oh, dude. There's so many things I want to talk about right now.
Keep
Can
driving,
I
bro.
keep rolling?
Yes,
Bro,
please.
can we go into you right now? Because you've been, bro, there's been so many beautiful things happening with you, and I just want to highlight this. And you don't have to share this with people, but you've been walking the spiritual path for a minute, and you've been having, and recently you had a clear direction on where you want to go with it. If you're comfortable talking about it, I just I just want to ask a little bit deeper as to like why, where is it going and why, not just for me, but also for like people. I just want it to come through. I don't know why.
Bro, I love you. Thank you for asking. I-
Can I go into that?
yeah, of course. There's
Okay,
nothing
bro.
I want to talk about more.
Mm.
It's seriously, man. I really have a lot of gratitude that you asked me. Um,
Do you want me to be direct with some questions, or do you want to just let it rip?
ask me questions.
So for the audience, Akaash has been seeking for a long time, and he's going to go into obviously as to why and where, and different paths. He's tried so many different things, but I've been so excited recently as a friend and bystander to see something that you're like, dude, I want to put my eggs in this basket right now. And you went to go hear a talk. I want you went to go hear a talk when you were back home, before you exactly knew what you wanted to do with terms of path. You heard a certain Swami, is that what it's called? Heard Swami speak, and he talked about the heart versus the mind in terms of getting close to God. And this man, when you heard him speak, you were like, he speaks the language of my heart. This man knows something, and I need to be close to him. And then you reached out to him, or I think you went back again, then reached out to him. He gave you opportunity, guys, to connect. You guys connected, and like electricity has been starting from this. That's what I want to kind of preface with for the
Yeah.
audience. And now I'm like, dude, there's so many paths you've tried. What is it about this one that feels like home? This is not a small thing, dude. We have to have this moment where this is known because dude, you are the king. You're the king of going in every direction of God. What is real? What is real? What is real? What is real? And for you to be able to like even have some, even for the time being, say like there's something significant here. I'm like, I'm stopping to take a breath because
Dude,
I'm
I'm
like,
just shook.
I'm like, what's here, bro? What's here? I gotta
I,
know.
I'm literally shaking right now because someone in my life cares enough to ask me this.
Mm.
It really means a lot.
Bro, are you kidding me, bro? This is like the biggest deal.
I mean, like, yeah. So I think you did a good job with kind of like the preface of yeah. So back in September, I was in California visiting home, and on a whim decided to go. I think there was a pod episode we did about this, so I'm not going to go into all the details. You can watch that around the late September timeframe. You can look that up. But the TLDR of it was through a series of crazy synchronicities or coincidences, winks from the universe. I ended up at this talk with this Swami, who's like basically a Swami is a monk in the Hindu tradition, and he, like Andres said, like he was a man of God. Like I could just see in his eyes he was a man of God. Like he had communed with God. You could see there's a glimmer in people's eyes. You have it too, by the way. Um, People that have truly had experiences with God, there's just a different way they move. And I just immediately sense it. And so the talk was about like two paths to enlightenment, and how do you know which one you are, or like what side of the spectrum you fall, because it's a spectrum, it's not binary. And
Mm,
it's the path of discrimination and knowledge and intellect, where you understand the true nature of reality, and then like you logically understand it, and then you start to see how that logic exists in real life, and you start to like remove the layers of separation between the divine and who we are, right? So this is a path of the Gyan Yogi in Hinduism. And then there's another path, and they're all valid. The path of worship, the path of devotion, the path of surrendering your ego to something bigger than you, to God. The word God is what I mean here, is something bigger than us. And so he was like, how do you know what side you fall on? And so so the the crazy thing about that talk was that was a question I'd been pondering for months, if not years. Like I've always, because I love to logically deconstruct this stuff. And honestly, having met you, you were the reason why the worship path opened for me. I didn't understand worship before. I was like, I don't get why someone would pray. Like, what does praying do? You know, it never made sense to me. And then I saw a person, Andres, who literally walks the walk of a man who has met God. Not just like you're trying to, but you've already communed, you know? And so prayer is real. And I've seen you pray, and I get chills every single time, you know, every time. You know, we've had moments where we're reading Bible passages and I just start hysterically laughing. You know, like these are real indications that like the divine is with us in those moments, you know? So anyway, really resonated with the Swami, and I was like, this is the first time I'm really connecting with a monk, because like monks to me were kind of like separate from society. I don't really, you know. And before this, I had tried so many different paths, and not to like like find an answer. I guess to find an answer in a way, but really it was just what was calling to me at the time. And it would be way too much to go into all the details of like every single thing I've tried, but like I've tried the Yogananda path, which is a self-realization fellowship. That's a very like cut step 1 through 8. Follow what we do. Understand the spiritual like universe. Here's all the teachings. Here's the yoga practices, and here's the breath work and mantra you're supposed to do. Go do this, and then in time you will experience God. And I'm like, okay, tried it for a bit, but like I don't like to just I don't like when things are just laid out for me. I don't want to be told what to do. Like it doesn't make sense to me. It just doesn't make sense. Like someone who's called to that path, beautiful. And I mean, no judgment against someone who is called to that path. But for me, it was like I had to realize this by going through it, that like I don't want to kill myself, force myself to meditate every day in the exact way that this thing is telling me to do it, even if my body is telling me no. You know, I don't want to force myself. So I was like, okay, I'm moving on from that. And then I tried Buddhism over the summer. I went to a Buddhist temple here, like a Tibetan Buddhist temple in Austin for like 2 months, maybe. Like every other Sunday, I went like 4 or 5 times. And it was just like a religious kind of thing. There wasn't a lot of I didn't really feel like they cared about truth. They cared about you know, realizing God. It was just more of a place for people to go and feel like, you know, some sense of like peace and calm to add to their week. It didn't feel like people here were sincerely seeking God. And that's what I want. I want people who are sincere, who are serious about this path. Like that's who I want to follow. So this monk was the first person who I ever met in this world. Outside of my own experiences, in my kind of like seeking world, where I was like, cool. So there's a path. There's an example of someone who's in this path, and this is beautiful. Like there's resonance. And so I talked to him, and we talked a month ago when I was visiting for like the Thanksgiving break back home in California. And it was just like, I don't even know what we talked about. I blacked out. Like we went into it.
The best stuff you did.
It was so beautiful. Like I felt seen by someone who I respected and admired and looked up to. Like he was like, you're a true seeker kind of thing. Which, yeah, I'm just gonna say that. Like, I guess some part of me like hesitates to say that because it's like, is that egotistical?
Noise.
Yeah.
Can I pause
please.
you just for this moment and then go back? What is the heart behind the story? Like, I see the steps and I see the orders and I see the different paths, but like, what's the raw emotion in this? Like the raw emotion that you were looking for when you were looking for this order, that order, that order. Like as I'm hearing the story and I've known part of it, but I'm like, what's the raw? Like,
yeah, it's, dude, the truth is it's a deep yearning to know God.
Mm.
That's it. It's like the deep, you know how I talk about this yearning I have to find my girl and like all these things? Like it's the same thing.
You think it's love?
Yes.
Like to experience love, it's encounter love. It's like the woman is almost like a part of it. She's a she's an icon of the same like yearning of like you just to be completely like encapsulated with it, just engulfed.
Yes. Yes. I I know for some reason this has been intensifying over the last couple of months, but like it started with this curiosity. Like I don't know I don't know how to explain this to people, man, because like I didn't like go out seeking this. Like I just suddenly realized that like God is real in the ways I understand God, and not just that it's real, but like we are of God. We're all divine, and we've just forgotten. Like
Mm,
that's the whole purpose of life is like to remember our divine nature, and to remember our divine nature, we have to like unlearn all the ways that we are not that. You know. So
mm,
once I realized that, I was like, the rest of my life is dedicated to coming to my divinity, like meeting my own divinity, meeting the God that's within me and within all of us. Because once I can meet that divinity within me, or once I see it, because it's there even right now, like everything I'm meant to do in this world will clarify. Like
mm,
I want to serve. That's all I want to do. I just want to serve. I want to serve the mission I'm meant to do. I want to help the people I'm meant to help. And I want to love those around me in the process and make beautiful friendships. And that's it. That is all I ask for.
mm.
Everything else, material stuff, like all that stuff is like, I don't care.
It's so funny because I keep getting this feeling that I'm like, when you actually experience love, everything else like makes sense. Like you don't, it's not even like you don't have to check any box. You don't have to make sense of things. You don't have to go in a direction. It's just you become whole. And I get the idea that everyone already is whole, but I'm like, no, once you experience love, nothing
Yeah.
else needs to be.
And when you say love, what are you referring to? Are you talking about the love of a woman, of a mother, of God himself?
I think in many forms, it doesn't need to be like the woman, but like I think God loves us through people and through ourselves and directly. Um, but like to get to the place where you are just engulfed, like you can't, like you can't help it. You can't help it. You're like, thank you. Like literally, thank you, thank you, thank you. Like my heart is so overjoyed. It is overfilling. It is like welling up. Um, maybe it's because of what a couple friends say to you. Maybe it's because of the quiet of the night in this beautiful moment, and you're like, I feel you. But to the point where it's like yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I also
Yeah.
feel like there's like that yearning you have is also like to like encounter him. And when you encounter
Yes.
him, like that the potency of that love is overwhelming. It's like this feeling of like I have known you all of my life, and I have like from the womb I like made you and like formed you and like watched you in all these hours.
Yeah. Yeah. And so going back to this whole like path of knowledge versus path of like worship and love and devotion, that's what's coming online for me right now so deeply. And
Mm,
so for me to have committed to a path requires me to be ready to surrender. Because like once I
mm,
say this is my path, like dude, this is they're gonna give me, I'm gonna be given a what's called a mantra diksha, which is basically like a spiritual practice, like a meditation and a mantra, which is like a phrase in Sanskrit that I'll recite in my head for certain hours every day for the rest of my life.
mm,
And the purpose of it is that that mantra is the word of God, and the
mm,
more I can merge into that mantra as I recite it, like over time, it requires surrender. Right. The reason why if I get it, and then the next day I don't merge with God and I don't feel that communion, it's not because I did something wrong. It's because there's a part of me that's still like not letting go to completely allow myself to be with this thing. So anyway, it's a whole
mm.
practice, but you know, like in the Bible, I forgot the exact verse, but like the soil, like it's ready to go.
It's fertile.
It's fertile. It's fertile, man. Um, and I just like with this yearning I've developed recently. my heart keeps breaking.
Mm.
This is the part that's like I'm in the middle of. Today it happened last week on Saturday, at the event that we were at that I've told you about.
That's the next part of my question list.
Perfect.
Of course.
Yeah, that event, it broke my heart, man. And today my heart broke again this morning. I cried probably harder than I even did last week.
Mm.
And I think like Joe Hudson, someone I really admire and look up to and follow, he says this thing of like, the path to our peace is our heart to be broken over and over and over and over and over again. The more our heart breaks, the more our capacity for love increases.
I've got chills all over my body. And it's also like you're starting to feel love and it breaks you.
It breaks me. Exactly.
It breaks you. It's the love. It's finally piercing through the stone heart.
It's so much. It's so, dude, love is such a power. It is like,
it heals and it transforms, but dude, at first it just
it like knocks you off your feet.
Wait. Okay, there's two directions now. So there's this path now you feel, and then I also want to know what happened this morning. And I want to ask you one more thing about, we're going to go through these.
Dude, we have all the time in the world. No rush.
What? It'll come back to me. What happened this morning? The other one will come back to me.
It's gonna sound very like silly, but
Beautiful.
It's not silly. I mean, it's silly. That's the fun of it. The fun in it. So one of my favorite artists from like kind of a past life in the last 5-10 years was Seven Lions. I think I've told you about this. Seven Lions is a melodic dubstep EDM producer, and he makes very cinematic melodic dubstep, which is probably going to be nothing to most people listening, but highly recommend you go check him out. Anyway, he released a new album today, and I was driving out to my favorite coffee shop up north, 40-minute drive, and I just popped on the album just to listen from start to end. And dude, he kind of went back. He was bringing in a lot of his older sounds and also mixing it with his newer sound. I'm a huge fan, so like I can tell the difference. And it just brought back a flood of emotions and memories about like the time in my life where I was really like, there was a point in my life from like 2018 to 19 and partially until the COVID in 2020, where I had a group of like 3 other friends and the 4 of us, we would go to like all kinds of shows all over the country together. And it wasn't just like, dragging people around. Like we were all excited about it. We loved music at the exact same frequency as one another. And it was special. It was like a brotherhood where like I have never, like, honestly, I've never felt that level of intimacy with people. And it was because we all synced up to music in the ways that we did. We all had the same kind of love and respect and understanding of what music means for us. And so it just took me back to that time, because once COVID happened, it suddenly ended, right? Like once COVID happened, like all the shows, you can't go out anymore. There was some Twitch stuff going on, Twitch streams that we watched together, like on Zoom. It was really fun. But this morning, it just all came back to me of like, what a beautiful time of my life that was and how much I miss it. Like I really, really miss it. And I just started crying. And, I used to tell my ex this, I've told a lot of my close friends this, that like, I don't think I ever really grieved the end of that period of my life. Like I just got, shoved into the post-COVID world, or COVID and then post-COVID. And it was a very, very beautiful time of my life, man. And I cried so hard. Like I was just thinking about all the people I met during that time and how many just like, oh, I wish I had it with me. But in the rave culture, we have like candy, which is like these little bracelets people make. Like you make these bracelets, and the whole point of rave culture is to like, share it. Like you literally go to shows. If you like someone, you say, hey, can I trade candy with you? And then you like hold hands, and then you switch, like you trade candies. Like it's such a beautiful part of the culture. And I was thinking about all the people that have made me candy, who wanted to like trade things with me. And it's just like this beautiful expression of love in this subculture that I was into.
It's love.
It's love. It's love, man. So I just
it almost sounds like it made you feel connected back to this part of you, these memories,
yeah. Like instead of like trying to like be like, this is in the past, and this is now, and like I don't need to think about the past. Like it allowed me to appreciate and welcome those moments I had. And dude, I have not cried that hard in my life. I don't know. I can't. I was like, I was driving too, and I'm like, this is like low key dangerous. How hard I'm crying right now.
He cries and crashes out, bro.
I almost was like, I don't know if I can do the pod because I'm still in the afterglow of it, and I went to Trader Joe's right before this to get some stuff, and like,
beautiful people.
I felt so still. Like everything around me felt so still.
Can I ask you, do you think the part of you is grieving it because it also, like, one, it was like it needed to like learn to let it go? Do you think it's also you crave that now, and maybe there's like a loneliness of like you desire that connection again? And then also like, yeah, it's like a sense of loss. It's I say loss and loneliness. Like which one speaks more?
Both. And I think the loneliness, and you know what, dude, this is beautiful. Such a beautiful question, because I think you've felt this, and I'm sure you felt this in some ways, where like when we first started going out to those shows here in Austin, I quickly, like we had different tastes, and and then I didn't like, I don't really know what happened, but like I kind of stopped. Like something in me was
Asking
like,
me.
yeah,
Yeah, you stopped asking. I don't think you wanted to be to feel subtly rejected by me not liking the music.
right. And then I realized like that could be true, and that's okay. And also like it's okay if other people don't like this, and it's all good, right? So that's where the loss and loneliness comes in. Of like, I don't want to force this down anyone's throat. Like that's not my intention. And
Yeah,
I don't want
but not going with
some.
someone is so lame too. Like it's cool to go sometimes by yourself, but you want people to like nerd out with you.
Yeah, 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 100%. So yeah,
Mm,
fair.
I think, hey, dude, it's a beautiful intention. It's a good request. I think your heart wants that, and I think it's so. When I want a pickleball friend. Like it sounds so cheesy, but like I lost the pickleball friend, and now I want a pickleball friend, and like I want someone. Let's go. And someone, and ideally someone that I enjoy being with, so that it's not just pickleball. It's always like you want the flavor of like they kind of get my heart too. They're not just a
Dog,
body,
we should run some pickleball. Like I love pickleball. I'm serious.
bro.
I could.
I'm down on
I will
Sunday. Let's
happily
go
make
Sunday
that.
when you come back.
Yeah,
Bro,
I'll
please
happily
just throw
make
it on
that.
the freaking dude. I miss that shit so much. I've been playing so much soccer because of that. I also want like a soccer friend. So it's a real thing, bro. There's these parts of you that just you want to be loved in this thing as well. Um, and it's a part of you that wants you feel music so deeply. So it's like, of course, this is the thing you want to share with someone so deeply. But yeah, I see you, bro. I see you.
Thank you. Thank
I
you.
remember I think I remember the thing I was going to ask about. It was the order. Um, oh my God, it'll come back to me. So I guess maybe speak to what this order is and why are they unique. Um,
Yeah.
before you go there, I remember my thing. I'm gonna lose it again. I want you to know, and this probably won't even be necessary, but I want you to know that even if you switch from this path, because they say you're supposed to stay on this path for the rest of your life, you do these mantras, even if at some point along the way you turn to me and you say, I don't think this is for me, I love you.
Bro, thank you.
And you
Thank
are
you.
accepted to change your mind. This is taking you one step closer to yourself and God. And if something else ends up taking you somewhere else as well, I see you and I love you. And I just wanted to make that known.
I appreciate that so much. Thank you. Thank you. So your question was like, what about this
So what is
order
this? What is it? Yeah,
resonates?
what is this path finally?
So, okay.
What do you want the world to know about this path?
This path is, it's called, first of all, the order is, it's the Ramakrishna order. And Ramakrishna was like, they call him a mystic, Indian mystic who was around in like the 1800s. And he was believed to be, and I do believe this to be true, and in like an avatar incarnation of Krishna. So like, and who's like one of the three main or he's not the godhead himself, but he's an avatar of one of the godheads. Anyway, um he's like a divine incarnation basically. And he his whole story is, and I'm reading it right now, it's so beautiful because he wasn't like, he wasn't born trying to convince the world that like, hey, you guys you guys have forgotten your inherent divinity. You've forgotten that like you and God are not separate things. He didn't come here to preach, is what I'm trying to say. He wasn't a priest. He just lived it. He just came into this earth with this longing for like the mother is, like the holy mother, and he lived that way. And then those around him noticed like this guy is kind of cuckoo. Like what the hell is this? What's his deal? And then those who had the eyes to see would be like, oh no, this man is like, he's operating at a level of consciousness that no one else is. And over time, he attracted his disciples and all these things. But his demeanor, his inner demeanor, was very much from like the place of worship. So it reminds me of you, like someone who just has this inherent love and yearning and knowing of God. And then from the outside, he was like a gyan, like he was someone who could explain things in a very like intellectual, logical way. That's how he operated. Mm-hmm. And then, but because his internal orientation was devotion, he was never meant to build worldly things. Like that wasn't his mission. But he attracted one of his like closest disciples. His name is Vivekananda. This guy, Vivekananda, he was the opposite. His internal orientation was that of Gyan, which is like knowledge, intellect, wisdom, which is how I operate. And his outside, like people over time realize like, oh, this man is, he's a man of God. He's like, he became devotional as his life went on. So I just resonated with the idea that like there's different people that are oriented in different ways. And the way you're oriented is your unique fingerprint. That's your divine fingerprint. It's not that like one path is better than the other. It's just like we are all our own individual like snowflakes for the cliche, but or rather, and like that's the beauty of life is like we have our own inherent divinity that is unique that no one else has. And so like it's such an empowering way to approach spirituality for me. It's like there's no like it's the it preserves your sovereignty. Right? Where the other paths I explored in Buddhism and stuff, it was like follow these techniques. Here's these 1, 2, 3 steps. I don't like that stuff. It works for some people. For me, it's like I want to do it on my terms. I want to discover God. I don't want to like calculate my way to him. I don't want to.
It's less romantic. It's so less romantic.
Exactly.
It's like what is there's so much less love in that. Have this relationship with me like this.
Yeah.
I think he even said it in one of the readings you sent me where he was like, why are you trying to formalize what the relationship with God? If you knew your father and he told you can only hang out with me like this, like you wouldn't even love him. It's like your father wants you to be like excited to be with him and like hug him, embrace him, all just pure expression.
Yeah. It's such a good parable. Yeah. So man, that's what it is. It's like it's a path that encourages you to understand yourself, and from that understanding, carve your own path to God. That's it. And I'm like, this is it. This is the way it's meant to be. Because like Ramakrishna himself, and I've told you this, but like he went to Islam and he realized Allah. He merged with Allah. He went to Christianity. He merged with Jesus. He had a vision of Jesus, and literally Jesus walked into his body. Right? And obviously he's experienced many of the gods in the different deities within Hinduism. Right? So he's living proof of somebody who got to the end goal of all these religions, but across religions. It's like
so cracked.
It doesn't matter.
Like literally he has the ability to prove that there are infinite paths.
Yeah. And his whole thing is like, as many faiths, so many paths. It's just so there's just a huge like resonance with that with me in how I move in my life. And I talked to the head Swami of the Southern California Society, who's the one who's going to initiate me. And when we talked on the phone is when it all clicked. Like he went into some things, and it's hard to explain because like, and I think you can relate to this, where like a lot of this stuff's happening in a way that I like when I'm explaining it to you, it might sound like, oh, this led to that, which led to that, which led to that. But in real time,
just unfolded.
it's just unfolding, and it's like
Yeah.
we can connect the dots looking backwards. So I am excited because what this is going to do for me, and I've been talking to you about this, where I've been wanting a way in. Like when I sit in my couch and I meditate, like I meditate in a way that I know how to meditate. Like, and it's gotten me quite far, and it's a beautiful, like, you know, the soil was being fertilized as I was meditating in my own way. But now I'm ready to like water that soil, and watering it every day requires me to get the fucking water can, pour the water on the soil. Like I'm ready to like put that effort and energy and
Devotion.
discipline and devotion into
Mm.
this practice because I'm ready. Like it's time.
You know, the biggest thing that I feel that would help with the longevity, and I don't know how it works because it's obviously in California and you're in Austin, is I think having people along the path with you. That's the one thing my heart like feels for you in this, that I think is good and beautiful. You can, if you want to go fast, you go alone, but if you want to go farther, you go together. And I feel this for some reason. And so maybe for
Mm.
whatever it's worth, maybe it's my prayer for you of like that God brings some along the path that speaks the language of your heart and is also in this order so that you guys can commune.
Mm. That is so beautiful. Thank you. There's a center here in Austin that I'm gonna start going to, and maybe I'll
Mm.
meet people there. Also, your boy Sarov, he's right there, dude. He's on the cusp. I can feel it.
Well, you guys got a link. You guys got a link. Um, but yeah, yeah, in person. I'm hoping. Well, it'll come.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. That's well said, and definitely something I'm noting. That feels very true.
Bro, it's Saints come in pairs. It's the thing in our freaking title. It's in our title. Like there are some people, don't get me wrong, there are some people like this Swami and this kid who are just born different. But for most of us, like I came to God in moments somewhat by myself on these retreats, but I had like my best friend on basically every retreat I went on, and we would talk before and after. And the thing that really made my faith come alive when I was in college, I was surrounded. I had a group of 7 men, kind of like the energy that you feel in the four of us in this group that's forming, but like 7 people. One of them was my top bunkmate, and we were just die hard on. We will commit to this practice. We will find God, and we will be close to Him. And we talked about it all the time, all the time, all the time. 7 people. 4 of them were really hard into it. The other 3 were kind of there, but we had this men's group. We did a 90-day commitment, and it was just like to have that amount of energy initiated, like it just,
I believe you.
it's
And
real.
I've been getting like winks from the universe about this. I was talking
Mm,
to one of my kind of family friends who's like very successful, has like a mansion, like $100 million company. I don't know how big his company is, but he's doing well for himself and his family, and he's like a spiritual person. You know, he's not someone who's, and he's had his vices and all that, but he told me, like, I was sharing my journey with him, and for some reason he told me the same thing. And he was like, whatever you do, don't alienate yourself from other people. And I was like,
mm.
I hear you.
I think you go fast, but you don't go far.
Yeah.
And I think there's seasons to go fast. You went fast. You healed from so much, and you saw your patterns, and you broke all these like previous narratives by going alone to some of this last couple months. But now you want to go deep,
Yeah. Yeah.
and you want to come home, and you want to experience love, and like God is in his relationship. He's relationship like all the way,
Right.
all
Yeah.
the way.
Yeah.
We'll see what unfolds, man. Dude, next on the list, bro. We're just bombing it up.
Let's go,
Dude,
dude.
I can't believe we're already an hour in. This is crazy. Literally, I'm like, bro, we're just getting started. Um, and we could stop and have this for the next ones too.
Nah, dude,
You
let's go.
so That's 3 different things here. The King's Code was one of them. King's Code event, crazy. There's one there. See which one speaks to you. The other thing is like, what have you been an evangelist about recently with your friends, to yourself? I feel like there's been things for me. And then we've decided we want to start a community, and it's like why are we making this community? Where is this coming from? What is the heart of it? And do we want to share it with people? Those are the three things that I have left on here.
I want to hold on the community one because I know myself and I'll start talking about it as if it's real. And then I will literally
Yeah,
lose energy. So
yeah, you're gonna release the dopamine early.
yeah, that one, let's talk about when it's real.
Amen, amen, amen.
Yeah.
Um, what do you feel? Okay, between the evangelist part, the King's Code, and this other one, how do you feel about needs now? What's your relationship with needs? Because I feel like that's been an evolving topic for both of us for a while.
Yeah.
Needs as a man.
And then I want to hear your perspective on how it's changed, if it's changed as well.
Mhm.
Um, can you define needs first so that we can make sure we're answering it from the same place?
I think it's from the human level of you need water to survive to some extent, unless you're like freaking goated monk. You need food to survive. You need some shelter, ideally. And then there are emotional needs. So I think in terms of emotional needs, maybe even spiritual needs as a man, um, to stay nourished, to not like wither and become emotionally like drained and kind of a little vampire-y, to stay thriving. It's almost like a plant that to have it like blooming and thriving and like reaching to the sun
Mm,
and not withering away.
got it. Got
Emotional
it.
needs as a man.
Perfect. So I think when we first met, I had a very like hard stance on like only I can only I can meet my own needs. And so let me just figure it out. Like everything happens on my own. So like when I moved here, I was very much like what do you call it? Retracted from society a little bit, right? I wasn't really engaging a lot with different things happening here. And it's fine. I don't have it was all beautifully, it all happened the way it was supposed to happen. I've definitely changed my tune on that, or at least I've evolved. And so like obviously my relationship to my needs has evolved. And I would say the biggest place where I've noticed that evolution is like friendships and other like acquaintanceships, community, like that kind of thing. I realized that a lot of my needs, which are like the need to feel seen, the need to feel accepted, these things that yes, I can work on my own, but they're relational in nature, right?
Yeah, literally, literally.
If I have a wound that like really masculine men intimidate me, I'm not going to go sit in a cave and meditate that wound away. The only way that wound is going to heal is when I go out into the world and I talk to that
Mm,
masculine man and I see myself not abandon myself talking to that masculine man. Then that
mm,
wound heals. And then that need becomes like satisfied in that moment. And then I can move forward. Like when I feel the need to connect, I can just move freely with it instead of like being burdened by it, if that makes sense.
mm,
So it's becoming like this thing where like I think my individual needs I know now. Like I've spent enough time alone where like I know how much alone time I need. I know what I want to do when I'm alone, like what those needs are. If I want to go for a walk versus stay at home versus go see a movie versus whatever it is, right?
mm.
But
Amazing.
like I'm now exploring relational needs. What
Mm,
do I need from my friends? What do I need from Andres? What do I need from the other people in our lives that are starting to come together?
mm,
Um, and how can I ask? Like for me, the current question is how can I ask for it more? Because I still
mm.
have a fear of asking for what I want because I'm so used to the answer being no. And the more I spend time with these beautiful human beings that are in the city, the more I'm like, they just love me and they accept me and support me, you know?
I know what the funniest part is when you ask for your need, it's what they want to.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, bro, yeah, that sounds awesome. Let's do it. Let's hang out. Let's go for a walk. Tell me how you're feeling. It's like they want that.
I want to share the story I shared with you about, our mutual friend Leo.
Hmm.
Um, so, we have a friend and, I think for both of us, that friendship is kind of relatively new, right? I don't know if I'll speak for myself.
Hmm.
It's new for me. And so the other day we hung out one-on-one, made some dinner. Like it was the first time we're spending that kind of time together and just went for a walk, walked his dog and went around the lake here for like an hour and a half or something. And we're talking, just getting to know each other. And at some point, I start, going into these like really big statements of like, oh, like I've always struggled with women. I've like always struggled to keep friends and all this stuff. Or I've really struggled to keep close friendships, I should say. And he was like, he just like calmly, like he just stopped walking. He's like, like your words have a lot of power. And he starts sharing why, he's really been someone who grew up just really aware of words and how they shape someone's reality in a way. And he was like, when you say things like that, like you're kind of reinforcing that story, that belief. So just something I just noticed I wanted to share, that like you don't have to, like, I don't think it's true that you've always struggled with women. I'm sure you've had experiences with women that were beautiful, or with friends that were beautiful and very close and
More than just a
intimate.
couple.
Yeah. But when you say something like all my whole life, you're not even letting yourself see those moments. So I'm like, bro, and he said it with a little bit of like, I don't want to like overstep kind of thing, because he's being considerate, because you could very easily say that to someone and that person could like blow up at you. Like, fuck you, bro. What are you talking about? I just met you, all this stuff. And I just calmly, I was like, dude, thank you. I just thanked him. I could not stop thanking him because he's right. But I've never had people in my life like calmly just point things out like that are for my highest good. Like, he wasn't saying that to like establish some hierarchy or me. He was like, bro, I love you, and I'm noticing something that you might be interested in. If not, no worries. And you're just nodding your head like, duh, bro. Like, what do you? For me, this is like a revelation.
No, it's big. It's big.
So like so much gratitude and love for that man. And it kind of illustrates what we're talking about, of like, there's this need there of like, oh, I can just, like, here's the funny thing. In that moment, I was just being me. Like, even though what he said was right, doesn't mean that what I said was wrong. Like, what I said was also right in that moment. And because I felt safe to speak my truth, which was in that moment, I've struggled with women my whole life and I've struggled with close friendships. It allowed an opportunity for someone to come in and like kind of like just nudge me in a way that's like, I don't want to say corrective, but like it's loving, like in a loving way. Like they nudge me. Maybe there's a better way to articulate this.
I get it. He I think the funniest thing is that you told me the other day your love language is people pointing things out about you. Like helping you see it. I was like, yo, that's like the most unique love language I have ever heard in my whole life.
I love it when people point things out that I'm not seeing. And they value that kind of thing. Because he told me at the end of the night, he was like, by the way, bro, please call me out on my stuff too. Yeah. What were you going to say?
I was gonna say, dude, another thing that in that vein, I want to know if this is like resonates with you. When it comes to the order, some of the language you were saying was like there was this like projection of, well, I'm gonna finally get my practice. This will finally be the thing that brings me to commune with God, and it's gonna be like this for the whole life. There was that grandiosity, and maybe it is, but I just wanted to check with you of like, is that the language you wanted to have around this order and what it's gonna mean to you? Or what it's supposed to be, or it is, or
you just did the thing. Thank you.
This is the beauty of why you're bringing it up, and I was like, oh shoot, there's the language. I didn't even pick it up.
Yeah. Yeah, it's alive right now, and if it's not alive in a year, that's okay. But it's alive right now, and I want to commit to it as of this moment.
What is the narrative then that you want to have in your heart about this order and what this is, at least for now?
That I'm doing this not because I calculated my way to this as like the right thing to do, but because it genuinely feels like the right thing to do. And I trust that completely and unconditionally.
Amazing. Can I ask you a deeper question? When you talk about this idea of struggling to keep friendships, where does that story come from?
I think it comes from the story that I've had a hard time like really connecting with people growing up. I mean, in my life, like not even just growing up, but like in my 20s, where the depth of connection that I crave was never really available to me. And so
Mhm.
I found that connection through shared interests and activities like music or going to bars back in my 20s, or going to concerts. Um, but that only like scratches the surface level of that itch, and there was always this deeper itch of like there's this deep intimacy that I've always craved with people that I didn't know. I didn't have the words to realize this or have the awareness to see that now, like our friendship, these other friendships that are coming into fro, like they feel that depth is there. It's truly
Mm.
there for the first time in my life. And so I'm beginning to rewrite that story. But that story comes from the fact that my whole life I've been the one that reached out to friends. I'm the one who tried to plan things. I always was like, dude, I was the one trying to create closeness between the people, between me and the people in my life. And in hindsight, I didn't know this, but it's tiring. It's exhausting to
Yeah.
constantly be putting yourself out there when someone isn't reciprocating. And people were not reciprocating. And I was still like, no, that's my fault. I'm not trying hard enough. I got to be a better friend to get this person to
Mm.
love me.
Mm. It sounds, yeah, needs not being met.
Yeah.
You wanted to be loved and seen, and it was a need, and the connections weren't forming it. So the narrative originally was that you don't know how to make or maintain close relationships, but it was because they didn't have the kind of depth you're looking for, and maybe less so because there was something about you. It was your uniqueness that wanted to be known, and you needed to be, yeah, in order to find the kind of connections like ours, you have to be really intentional. Be really intentional to sift, and you sift through a lot. And you got to go to the kind of places that they're going to be. And if you don't, you'll be constantly like drained, and like everywhere you go, it's like, where is it? Where is it? Where is it?
Yeah.
Fair.
And I think there's also like an orientation to this where like if you had told me this, if I heard you speaking this to me when I was like 25, I don't think it would have clicked. I wouldn't understand what you're talking about.
Mm,
There's something about like truly feeling like it's time to make those friendships, even if it's not super clear. Like I kept telling you, like, Andreas, I feel like I'm ready to go back out there. And you're like spamming me invites because you're the goat of all invites. You know every event in town happening every day. So you start inviting me, and you have a good sense of who I am. So you invited me to the ones you feel like I'll vibe with, which I appreciate, by the way. Thank you for being so like you get me. And by the way, they've almost all been hits. So, but like there was an internal like shift where I was like, I'm ready for more. Like I didn't know what it was. I just knew I was ready to get out there again. In hindsight, it's I'm ready, and I'm ready for those like for that void, that emptiness I felt. It's starting
mm,
to fill with
starting
like
to feel.
loving humans. Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. It's the love, connection, intimacy. They're all the same.
What's
Connection, it has intimacy, and intimacy gives you love, and love makes you whole.
Yeah. Wait, I really want to. I'm really curious. Like, what has been your Because I know relationships been obviously a huge part of your life, but like, how has that evolved over time, and like, where are you today with friendships and everything, and other relationships too?
Bro, I had a conversation yesterday with this 19-year-old entrepreneur that, long story, but we got on the call, and he said to me, I think the whole point of life is connection, like connections with people. And I think he nailed it. Like, I'm someone who loves that especially, but I feel so alive right now having multiple friendships that have the level of depth that you and I like are capable of, and different facets. And now you're asking me where am I at with it? I focus on making sure my emotional needs are like not just met, like overflowing. Like I have an amazing friend in you. I have an amazing friend in my friend Ashley and Leo and Sarov and like other people, to the point where like I can't even I didn't get to text back today to like Leo and you guys till way later because I had so many great things going on, and I'm like, and then I had this event all day tomorrow that I'm literally smiling about already. I have this soccer with this group of people that I really love. And then I have this event that I wish you could go to. I really think you're gonna miss out on that one. That guy's goated. But I'll give you the notes. And then I have like an event at night. So like, and they're just like, at first it was like, sometimes I have events I kind of don't want to go to, but now I'm like, I have too many events I want to go to, many people I want to see, to the point where like it's hard not to feel in love. Like it's hard not to feel in love. So like I don't know if that answers your question, but I think filtering for the kind of people that make my heart feel so alive and I get to be me has been the kind of relationships that I want. I have made a sense of like promise to my heart that I will place my heart in the deepest places with the people that truly see me so that I don't have to hide any parts of me. And then by doing so, I just feel so alive.
Mm.
Feels so alive.
I saw you last, I think, no, it was this week. We went to that conscious networking event, Authentic Austin. And I was talking to someone there, and then I saw you, Ashley, and the person you're going to that thing with tomorrow. I forgot her name.
Yeah, Shay.
Shay, yeah. And dude, I just caught your face a couple times. The pure joy and happiness and love I saw on your face, it literally lit me up. I'm like, this dude is swimming in gold right now.
Literally gold, bro. Found the fountain of youth.
Yeah, because I've noticed, like, I don't have a very clean way to put it yet, but I feel, at least like from my vantage point, that I don't know if you're like full necessarily, but like just there's just an overflow of love in your life right now, from all directions. Like I feel it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's intoxicating.
Is there anything, and we can wrap this up soon too, but is there anything that like you've been feeling that's been coming up a lot recently? Or are you just kind of like in this sweet spot and you're just happy with it?
I need to give you a big update, but it's a personal update that I can't talk about on the pod yet. And so we need to make time for that. And we will, obviously. But a side note, and it kind of taps into a small version of this, but I did EMDR for the first time. I think I told you earlier this week. Did I tell you?
Mm-mm. You were telling me you were preparing for it, but I don't know you actually did it.
In my first session, and like I've been wanting to do EMDR for a while, and we're just getting started, and I already see like there's something in this thing, dude. I know you said you've done it. There's something about EMDR. Like at first I was like, she kept tapping into this memory of mine from my childhood. I'm like, there's nothing here, dude. Like, leave it alone. And suddenly she's like, stop trying to analyze it. Just tell me what you see. What do you see in this memory? Just be a bystander and watch. And I just watched. And I'm like wondering if I should share this on the pod. It's really vulnerable. So I'm like, and it kind of involves some stuff with my fam. I love them. It was all good things. I'm gonna be more generic, and I ended up having this moment where suddenly my wall came down, which I didn't expect. The scene started to unfold, and I like just bawled my eyes out over something, and the way that the scene started to change the second, third time, fourth time around after we kept really looking at it, once my heart started opening up. I don't know what is up with this EMDR thing. My mom calls it the Holy Spirit's like groundwork, but I'm really excited to go back to a period of time when I was in college where like a lot of my like pain started in my story, and to like do this EMDR thing with it because I see there's some gold here. And there's just been this wounding that runs really deep from a part of time in college, and now I just have this huge sense of hope around like this is going to be looked at and cleaned up, and like not just cleaned up, like released, like this somatic release. um yeah yeah, we got to talk.
Yeah. I want to ask you more about it, but do you feel like it's an in-person conversation?
To honor my parents in this one, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I could talk about the college stuff, but that one's my parents, so.
Okay, no worries. We don't have to force it.
Yeah, that's been a big one recently. Another things I've been thinking about. I've been an evangelist around. You already know, so I'll give you the 30-second synopsis for everyone. I've been an evangelist about like men especially being able to be more emotionally expressive with each other. And like such a healthy way to get your needs met. If I'm being affectionate to you and telling you, it's like Akash, like I really appreciate you. You're such a valuable person in my life. And like letting that be known consistently, giving each other a hug. Like Sarv and I think modeled this for me the first time super well, where I feel like he's like genuinely my brother. Like we were on a bus through San Francisco and like we just have our arms around each other and like he's got his hand on my leg and like not for a second did I ever think it was like gay or weird. And it's like hand like arm in arm type energy and I'm just like, dude, I love you. I just love you. I can't get enough of this. And I think it's so necessary, like the world's starving for love. And I think just as a little thing for guys to be able to have that, especially with each other, I think creates a lot of security so that even when a woman comes into the picture, she doesn't have this grandiose like necessity in their hearts. That's been something I've been thinking about like crazy.
That's so beautiful, man. And I can't wait to explore that with this community that we're going to build, which we're not going to talk about right now, but
leaving everyone in suspense.
I feel like, you know what, man, for what it's worth, I feel like this is, in whatever way it's meant to happen, this is going to be a big part of your life, like your service to the world. I just feel it, like you have, there's like that genuine kind of like, yeah, it's a love for the cause itself that is so pure that I feel every time you talk about this, and you embody it obviously as a friend who slapped my butt many times. Like I really I really appreciate you. Like, no, seriously, it's helped me too because I'm like very touch sensitive, and so not like it's not just because I'm uncomfortable doesn't mean it's like rejected. Like there's something about it it's playful, it's fun, it's just like it's intimate. It's like it's a level of trust, that wouldn't otherwise be there. So I feel like in some way you're meant. This is going to come through as like your service to the world, at least part of it. I could be wrong though.
I told my mom this, and I think this is a beautiful thing that's been lost. Men used to write letters to each other back in the day when there was no phones, no nothing. And it was like, imagine you and I if we met in like the 1400s and we were brothers, and then you freaking went off and all we had was a letter. It was like, dude, this is what's been going on. This is the girl that I've been chasing, and I miss you and I love you. Wish you well. Like, come on, like. And then now it's like, yeah, bro, you good? You good? Okay. Get out of here,
dude. It's true. Like I've seen this all over in like Twitter and stuff too. There's this idea that like I've seen women post something along the lines of, where do guys go for emotional support? Because women will go to their friends because women are naturally attuned to their emotions. But where do guys go? Nowhere right now. It's just repressed.
Stay hard.
Stay stoic,
It's like, good luck with that shit. I have so many women, like there was just one girl I was seeing from pickleball like months before. I don't think we had met yet. And she was like, I keep meeting lonely ass dudes. They all like feel so needy, and it's like making me really uncomfortable. They want to hang out too much. They want to talk too much. She's like, I have other people I want to go see, my friends, these girls. And she's like, why is it so, she's like, they're so clingy. Like they want too much from me. And she's like, and I feel like it's because they don't have any guys. They're just super lonely. I was like, whoa. And she's like, all my friends are saying this. She's like, everyone I know, all the girls that I know are feeling this.
And think about it, man. Like in a lot of ways, men are the builders of society. And in our society, men are lost and lonely. So who's leading society?
Fair.
So, all right. I feel like, dude, wow, an hour and 19 minutes. This might be our longest one yet. Hey, we didn't even get to talk about you today, really.
Bro, it's beautiful. It was beautiful either way.
If this is alive next week or whenever, the week after, let's run it again. But thank you, man, for coming on. This is so much fun to catch up. I truly appreciate all the questions you brought. So,
bro, I feel like there's something about this rapid fire feel. Like, yeah, that's for another topic. There's something, we do a heaviness in not in a bad way, but we do this heaviness because we go deep, and there's something that I feel that's like been recent for me of like staying deep, but like a little bit of volume of like you go
Mm.
and then there's moments where like, okay, we went into your story with your spiritual path, and it was like that felt like I needed to go deep. Um, but I don't know, maybe it's like the wonder kid in me. It's like the curious wanted to like.
So
I think it also stimulates our ADHD.
probably. I mean, it's like you can't stay in heavy emotions forever. You know, like we can't have like, you know, an emotional like heavyweight fight, so to speak, for hours on end. So I think there's wisdom in that, honestly. You know, it helps, it creates like more endurance, and it's also just more fun. There's an art to like, obviously we're recording a podcast. I think there's an art to it where like we learn how to dance with this stuff. So I've been experimenting with that on some of the other pods I've been doing too, of like, how do I keep, because I've been feeling fatigue. Like at about 45 minutes, I'm like, damn, I don't know if this guest actually wants to keep talking. And if they don't want to keep talking, should I force them to stay on?
Yeah.
Or do I exit? But then I only have a 45-minute episode. Like,
I wonder how you would feel if you had an abundance of questions. And I know you don't like doing things like what do you call it, prescription based, but like having it as like an option of like, if I wanted to have a moment right now where I just say, you only get 2 sentences, but I want you to nail the heart of this question.
Oh, I love that. I love that.
Because like we had some big questions today and you got to get into the meat of it, but I wonder what would have happened if I told you have 2 sentences. Tell me your spiritual path. Like, why this one?
Yeah.
You've done this to me. You're like, give me one word or like one sentence to encapsulate what the hell you're talking about.
Dude, it's so true. Because you know what I do in what I typically do is I'll try to give the entire background picture so that the person understands the one sentence I'm about to say.
That makes perfect sense. Wait, honestly, we should try this next spot, bro. We'll call it like the forcing function. It just like,
let's do it. Because
like golden nuggets.
If I can analyze it for a second, I feel like it's a need to be heard properly. So that's why I over-explain.
I was thinking the same thing. I was crazy. I was thinking the same thing, and I was like, I feel like this is the need.
Yeah.
But you're seen and in your friendships. There's also like there's something in my heart that keeps coming up with you recently. Like this trip you're about to take with Leo is exciting for me. And I'm like, I think I'm excited at the thought that you will have too many friends that want to like love you. Like I know that sounds so crazy to think about because you're like, oh, that would be a nice thought, but like maybe because I feel overjoyed and I just want, but I like, yeah.
I don't even know what that feels like. I don't even know. I don't know how to process that, man, but I really appreciate it.
Spam it.
It's literally like, dude, learning how to let these people love me. This is going to sound so ridiculous, but it is so hard. It is so hard.
It's real.
I'm always like I just feel this reflex to like deflect. Like, nah, no worries, bro. You don't have to say that. You don't have to. You don't. We're good.
But me, Sarah, and Leo are gonna take a freaking pickaxe to that stone wall and just get that shit out of here. Honestly, bro. You can put up the wall and just this guy's gonna be like this. We're just gonna come in with the freaking like the machine gun, bro. Just when you think you built it up again, it's like oh, there's a hole. That's the goal, bro. Honestly, it's so overwhelming when it gets to that point at first, because then you're like, I can't hide, and then it's like, damn. The moment like just a little bit of love slips in just far enough where like it hits your fucking nervous system, then like your idea of like thinking and everything just goes out the window. And you're just like in the moment, and you're like, oh shit, what the fuck just happened?
I'll be bawling.
Like, back to be putting up the wall, and then you're like,
dude, those moments when it touches my heart, I will start crying. That's how you know, by the way. If I start bawling randomly around you, it's because something that just happened touched my soul.
Dude, have you seen Top Gun Maverick?
Yeah.
Did you know the super mission where the first bomb, it opens up the hole to the nuclear reactor? This is what I see is happening. Yes. It's like friends, we have enough people like me, Leo. So we're just gonna like we're just taking it's just like they're sending in the first missile, but we have to have the next team coming in hot. And the moment The first one blows up. Just perfect timing. Everyone's like, your defenses are coming in crazier. They're trying to take out the next guy. Dude, we don't even get the locking missile in. The second one comes, bro. Boom, your heart just implodes. You get your defenses down, bro. We just take you out. Take you out cold. This guy, bro. Like, no way. There's no way out. That's just gonna happen, bro. I'm calling it. That's my prayer. That's my prayer, bro. We're gonna blow it up.
I can't hold any more joy in my heart right now, as you can just tell by my voice cracking.
I love bomb the shit out of you. Literally, bro. That was the perfect scene. Ooh, bro, Top Gun Maverick, bro. We're bringing in the Avengers, bro. We're bringing in the Avengers team, or what are the top pilots, and we're just gonna.
We're so cultured, bro.
Oh.
All right, my friend. Thank you. Thanks to listeners. Hope you guys enjoyed. We will be back whenever we're back, hopefully soon. And what did I always say before? Stay kind. Stay kind.
Stay kind.
Peace out.